Hi. So I'm going to answer the questions about what I think makes me an effective teacher. I wrote it down just because I tend to stutter and get nervous when recording myself. So just in case I forget, that is why I'm looking on this side. I think what makes me an effective teacher is by setting classroom expectations for all my students, having high expectations for them regardless of what he or she is capable of doing. I want to hold my kids to the same standards. I think something else that makes me an effective teacher is having patience. I think in this age group specifically, I'm with pre-K and I've taught 3K and 2-year-olds and infants. You definitely need patience, especially because a lot of the kids, it's their first year. It's a new environment for them. They've never been to school. They haven't really been out the house much. So, you got challenging behaviors, and I've seen where teachers, walk out, or it becomes overwhelming for them and they can't handle it. So I definitely think you have to have a lot of patience in this particular grades, and I definitely have a lot of patience as I was a para for a few years and worked with children with on the spectrum or behavior issues, etc. So I definitely think that makes me an effective teacher as well. I also think setting clear classroom expectations and rules with all the kids. So before we move to different centers, etc., I like to go over what's expected, what's not expected, what we do, what we don't do, how to treat materials and things like that with them so that they're aware and knowing what we do. I do this every day, every center time, or I would be every time we transition into the world, no matter what. For question 2, in my experience as both a teacher and student, what did I find most effective and why? What did you find? I think what I find most effective is communication with the teachers and just, being aware and letting them know how you're feeling and things like that. My kids get frustrated quick and they don't like to communicate much, so I like to have that line of communication and telling them that it's okay for them to express themselves if they're feeling mad, sad, angry, and I want them to use those exact words. Miss Carmen, I'm feeling mad, I'm feeling angry, or and then telling me why, and then working on a solution for them. I think that is something I find most effective. Growing up, I didn't have teachers who asked oh, how are you feeling? Oh, not that I can remember, and got my way of feeling and then helped me through that feeling for those moments or whatever. It's just brush under the rug and that's it. And anything can trigger these kids. Something could be going on at home. We had a kid who was upset every day for a week, and we come to find out that his dad was hit by a car, and that's why he had those emotions. He did communicate with us. They didn't tell him at first what had happened, but a few days after they did, and he was telling us that's why he was sad. So I definitely think that that makes a good teacher as well, and also being present in your classroom. It gets super busy, and it's hard to be able to sit down with one group, especially when you have 15, 14, 13 students in your classroom and you got some with behavior issues. But I definitely think that's like being an effective teacher. Sitting down, whether it's just with one group and 2 groups, splitting your time individually, even if it's just for a few minutes, just communicating with those students and being engaged with what they're doing, asking them questions, what they're doing, what they're making, how they're feeling, what are they building, and things like that. And for question 3, what could you do in your own practice to make yourself more effective? Something I think I could do in my practice to make myself more effective is to be open to more collaborating with teachers. I know because I'm already so used to doing everything on my own and having my lessons and things like that, I tend to forget that, other teachers or assistants or whoever's in the classroom may have ideas that they would like to incorporate with the class. So I definitely think by me collaborating with other teachers is something that can make it more effective. They may have something that I don't have that the children will love and to be engaged in. I think that is something that I can incorporate in my classroom as well. And just being open to feedback and communications of things I can change in my room as well. We have an IC who comes, social worker, and they implement. They tell us, we can make some more suggestions. It's not something you can do, you have to do, but, if we want to. And I definitely take what they say and try to use that in the classroom as well. So I think that's something that's making me more effective in the classroom, because some of the things I would recommend that I have incorporated, implemented, and have seen changes and have been working. I think that's what makes me an effective teacher, or what makes an effective teacher in my books. Thank you.